It is the Transformers New York Comic-Con exclusive Nemesis Prime. Yes, it's basically a deluxe figure and a sword that I got for 90 bucks. So yes, maybe I'm a little crazed in the head to spend that much on this size of a figure, but it was an exclusive, and I wanted to share it with you guys in case you were thinking about getting it yourself. See if it might actually be worth what they're charging for it. So before I go too much further, I do want to thank our sponsor, Toy Hacks. They've been kind enough to sponsor me for many videos, and they also are kind enough to create stickers like the ones on this Megatron that makes him look so much better. The Studio Series, woof! I mean, it's worth getting those stickers. And they can also help you with your G1s, replacing your vintage stickers that might not look so good, and everything from G1 onto the latest releases. I'm sure they're gonna have something for this Nemesis. I would not be surprised. They might already. But they don't just do stickers, they have an armory, they have backgrounds. You wanna check them out at toyhacks.com. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. If you've been watching for a while, I'm still Captain Kyle. Thanks for coming back. Totally awesome of you. And we are gonna get into Nemesis Prime and 3 minicons that form, I think, Star Saber. Pretty cool. Be right back. So I'm gonna pull out my trusty knife here and carefully slice the tape. And I know that when this figure was announced, there was a lot of excitement. When the price was announced, that excitement went. And I totally get it, because I was like, it's still $90 for a deluxe size toy and 3 minicons, which should not cost that much. But I imagine they made a limited amount, or they just got me for 90 bucks, just like that. But it is nice packaging, and it's got like what looks like old cables that I used to plug into my cable box when I hadn't cut the cord yet. And it shows Nemesis on one side with the sword, it shows the minicons on the other. So I'm gonna take this out now. I have heard that the minicons have some issues, and I'm hoping that those issues are exaggerated, but I'm going to be very careful with them. I'm also going to take this shitty piece of paper and toss it out, but I'll grab the instructions. Now, I did have the original Armada deluxe size Nemesis Prime, who was very cool. I don't know where it is now. It might have gone in the purge. It might be in a bin in the garage. I don't know, so this is not a versus. But since they're on top, I'm going to take out the Star Saber, which is already in Star Saber configuration. And it's got tape, which I am going to slice so I can take this top piece off. And not only does it have tape, it has an elastic holding it on. So the packaging is very secure. I mean, it's better than it, falling out. Now the jet seems to already be separated. The rest is together, and it was actually pointed into his hand. So that's interesting. And it looks like I have some more tape to slice just to get this damn thing out. So it was partially slicing and partially pulling it. That didn't sound right. Shut up, Logan. So now he's unencumbered by the Star Saber, and after a few snips, he's out. But wait, apparently there's more. There's a gun behind all this other plastic. So I tell you, when they put these things together for being secure, they don't really think about someone's got to actually take this fucker out eventually. Gun. At least it's not wrapped in Autobot paper, because that would be totally inappropriate. All right. Knife away in case a cat comes visiting, because that's been known to happen. Plastic crap off my table, and let's take a look at what we have here. So I'm going to put the Star Saber aside here, bring over the Turntable of Doom, and let's take a look at Nemesis Prime. Now, is he in fact a deluxe? It's hard to tell, because he looks like he might actually fit in and take over the armor of the Optimus Prime from Armada that we got not that long ago. But apparently his arm was turned, gonna fix his fist, and I'm noticing there's a little elastic here, probably to keep on this gun. As I recall with the original, you could remove these guns, but let's zoom in so you can get a closer look at them. Jeez, that is better than zooming in post. So yes, these guns do come off. Let's put them back. They seem to plug in well enough. And yeah, he doesn't appear quite as black, he appears blue. I don't mean just this, the blue, light blue, electric blue highlights on his legs. The actual color appears to be dark blue rather than black. His gun, on the other hand, is black. So hopefully you can tell the difference between his gun and the rest of him. Sires are black, but that's kind of expected. Now I'm going to take a look at the instructions, see if there's any hidden things I should know about. So he may actually be technically Voyager size, because it's hard to tell because they get smaller every year. And it is showing me that you can remove the guns from his arms and attach them to the end of his weapon, so he's got a much more powerful gun, I would imagine. I still like them being on his arms, because he could then be firing his gun in one direction and blasting someone over here with the wrist cannons, whatever they call them. And of course, it shows that he can hold a sword and that you can flip down this, and there's a matrix of evilness in there because he's, you know, a nemesis. So he's got his own evil matrix of leadership. Is it leadership or dissonance? A matrix of dissonance. I kind of like that. So there he is, armed with his matrix in his chest. And again, we'll take a look at the Star Saber later. I'm kind of a little nervous about that, but let's take a look at some posability and deco. Because while he is clearly a Decepticon on the packaging, I am not seeing a Decepticon symbol on him in his robot mode. He's got this button on the back here, does not flip around. It does come off, I don't know why. And you can quite clearly see the outline of fists in his legs. So that to me says he can merge with something. Maybe he can just take over Optimus's trailer and trailer's like, I don't care who's pulling me. It's fine. All right, I'm gonna take the gun out just because it's big. And I do like the detailing, the deco, the red headlights, the red transparent windshield and side windows so you can look at the world through rose-colored windows. But all right, let's first check out, he's got ankle swivels, which are quite generous, so he can do quite the wild pose. Now, he's got these thigh covers on the side. If you want him to really go out there, you need to move those out of the way. But there you go with his ankle tilts. Now, you can also flip up his butt cover, which is, I think, necessary to see what I want to see next, which is a full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. He does it. He is there. Now, he can kick forward pretty nicely. If you keep the butt plate up, he can kick back pretty far. I am noticing that these wheels, which are movable, keep moving as I move his legs, so just be aware of that. I don't know that that's really a defect or just, you know, I shouldn't be touching the wheels. Bends at the knee, 90 degrees. He can also kind of point his toe. Side kick is hampered by the wheels, so crescent kick might be better, but he can still do pretty high. Can he twist at the waist? Well, it does not appear that he does any twisting at the waist. 'Tis a shame. The arms can go all the way around, can bend at the elbow more than 90 degrees. He does have a swivel. He can also go out to the side, though it makes his arm go up in a weird way. The shoulders don't go forward or back. They don't tilt in that way. Still not bad. His head can turn all the way around, though if he turns his head all the way facing backwards, he can't see shit because of this plate here. But definitely capable of some cool looking poses. He can be very dynamic. Now, one thing I noticed with the legs is he also has a reverse knee. That may be for the transformation or the merging with a trailer. It seems interesting to me that if he can indeed merge with a trailer, it's possibly Optimus Prime's one, but that they didn't include it. So it's either Optimus Prime's, or I doubt they would put out a trailer by itself to go with him, because then people will be like, where's the bot? I didn't spend $90. So I will take a look at the instructions, see if it has anything about him merging with a trailer. But unless he's committing Grand Theft Trailer, he ain't got one. Now, height-wise, he is just a little shy of 7 inches. So that is why I'm leaning towards maybe it's a Voyager, maybe it's not a Deluxe. Now, the Star Saber, when it's together, which doesn't seem to want to stay together that well, there you go. But it kind of overbalances him, so you definitely should adjust the pose if he's going to carry it. I do not see a place to put the gun when he is in his robot mode, unless he's supposed to do that. It's not really showing me that in the instructions, so there you go. There's an undocumented feature. All right, before we get into the vehicle mode, let's take a little closer look at the Star Saber itself. Oh, the fist twist. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they do twist. So that can be handy imposing with the sword and the gun. Well, there is the Star Saber. It looks good on that side. On that side, it looks kind of meh. Now, I said it didn't hold together too well. It detaches very easily there. Now, where else does it detach? Apparently right there. It's got, with this landing gear, there is a little post slot there that attaches to his brethren. And there are also little notches here that go onto the inner parts of this guy, which I hope they have the names because it's been so long, but they probably don't. On here, it shows that this one is runway, this one is Jetstorm, and this one is sonar. And for their vehicle modes, this one is practically in his vehicle mode. So there he is, he's a jet. This one, again, I'm being careful with these because I've heard some horror stories, but there's Jetstorm in his vehicle mode, and then sonar. It's a little more clever than the original minicons. And I am actually not using the directions, I'm just intuitively doing it, so haha. I don't know why I said haha, because, you know, most of you guys could probably figure these guys out too. So sonar is also now in his vehicle mode, so they believe they can fly and touch the sky. So to transform them, and I'm going to do this again carefully. So runway, runaway, runaway, it's only a rabbit. Basically, you pull up and back on that part, and it looks like there is a little tab that plugs in. The feet, I'm pretty sure, just bend like that. The arms come up, very simple. Let me even zoom in a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. And if you undo the thrusters, you can fold those forward. And then I wonder if this is what they were talking about, because it seems a little tough to bring those thrusters all the way forward. There we go. We got it, and nothing snapped. So there is runway in his robot mode. There are no there are no ankle swivels. There is toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. There is kicking forward, not so much back, but side kicks and splits. Really well done there. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way. Bends at the knee, 90 degrees. Arms are not going all the way back, but he does have elbows. I don't think he has a swivel, but his arms can go out to the side. So at this size, I'm not worried about a swivel. His head seems to be locked into place, and I'm not forcing it. So there is runway. We'll put him aside for now. Go with Jetstorm. Jetstorm, basically you bend that up and then you fold it all the way back, turn him around. His legs, you detach, and his arm fell off. But I don't think that's an irreparable problem. And his leg came off. So ball joints, luckily, but not thrilled that 2 limbs came off while transforming him. And for whatever reason, just to make things complex, because he looks fine as he is, you pull up the tail fin, pull it up in the aircraft or back, and then fold that over so it covers the front. And then you can slide it in again. So there is Jetstorm in his robot mode, and no ankle swivels, but toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. Kicking forward, easy enough. Kicking back is not happening. Side kick with the split, bends at the knee without a problem. Arms, again, are not going all the way around, but can go off to the side. He's got elbows, no swivel, and the head is not turning. Still, it's a minicon, can't expect too much. They're barely a step. I don't even know if they're a step above Micromasters. And finally, we have Sonar, who's a weird looking jet, no offense. And basically, we just kind of move out his arms, and it says to angle them. I don't see a way of doing that. I can detach them and make them into his arms, but I'm not seeing exactly what they're talking about, but they're showing like 3 steps or something I didn't want. Separate these, flip up the feet, turn the feet forward being in the other direction apparently. So apparently the arms are a little more complicated than I thought. Otherwise he's gonna have monkey arms. I see you basically are turning the wings so they're up like that, and then you bring up the head, and I'll form the head. And there he is in his robot mode. Now, let's see. Surprisingly, he may be able to do a full, nope, wait. Can't really do a split, doesn't have the swiveling capability. He can kind of do the opposite. He can do a toes down Jean-Claude Van Damme. And that made his leg fall off, but it's back in place. Now with these arms, they get in the way of kicking forward. Kicking back is not really gonna happen. Side kick, again, the arms get in the way. He does have knees. The arms can go all the way around because the wings are attached to them. So that's kind of good. Has elbows, kind of. They don't seem to want to bend that much. Head, yeah, I'm not forcing it. So he seems to be minimally posable compared to his brethren. But there you have it, the Air Defense Minicon team. Weren't they good guys? I would think an Air Attack Minicon team would be more bad guys. So there they are. I did not break them. Yay. But the question is, can I get them back into Star Saber form? And there it is, back in Star Saber form. Mostly, I think. There we go. that is in Star Saber form, ready for action. So Nemesis Prime or any particular bot who comes across the Star Saber can basically use it for nefarious purposes or noble purposes. Nefarious. I can talk, I swear. But all right, now for the main event, let's see what Nemesis Prime looks like in his cab mode, instead of just, swinging around a sword. Put your eye out. So there is Nemesis in his cab mode. Again, you can quite clearly see the fists here. These wheels have posts are supposed to plug in here and they should stay, but they can obviously pop out pretty easily. For weapon storage, there's no official picture, but obviously you can just do that. These guys can just fly to wherever you're going, or you could do that, which looks pretty stupid. I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, the weight. Nope, I was gonna see if you could turn the handle and plug it in, but you couldn't have the gun there as well, and you don't have a lot of clearance. Oh well, it was a thought. Now, I am curious. I mean, the fists do come out and the fingers open, so I imagine he can, once again, possibly combined with a trailer. But he's pretty neat looking, definitely reminiscent, definitely blue, but he's got wheels, so you know what that means. Roll tabs. Very nice. Good rolling, but there you have it. See, overpriced? Quite possibly. And again, I was careful with these because I read horror stories, but I did not suffer any breakages. The plastic feels like it could break, so I would still be careful, despite my good example. But this guy feels sturdy enough, and who doesn't want another Nemesis Prime? Even though, again, he does not have a Decepticon symbol anywhere that I can spot. And I mean, I'm looking places that are pretty unlikely. But he's fun enough. You could always have him not be a Decepticon. He could be a rogue agent on his own. A mercenary, perhaps, will work for the highest bidder. How much energon you got? But I think he's fun. He's not the most filled with deco. Perhaps, I don't know. Our sponsor, Toy Hacks, could help you out with this. And I do want to thank Toy Hacks again for sponsoring this video. Again, check them out for replacement stickers for your G1s and G2s all the way up to the very latest releases. You can glow them up. I think if you say it in a gravelly voice, glowing them up sounds a lot more masculine. And yeah, their backdrops, their armory. Check them out at toyhacks.com. And I'll put a link, of course, in the description. You can get this guy while supplies last on Hasbro Pulse, and then you got to pay a late fee and go to eBay or find it at a toy show. But I think he's fun, and if you're having fun, by all means, feel free to subscribe. And while you are mulling over this blue expensive toy, you can actually check out this video over here, which has two different versions. Well, it's a Scourge and a Nemesis Prime in a Versus. And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.